State of India's banking, financial markets, capital markets. In a world where every transaction, every decision, and every market shift tells a story, understanding the intricate dance of economics can be the key to unlocking untold opportunities. But let's be honest, navigating through the complexities of business, markets, and economies can feel like decoding an ancient language. Today, we will look at the current state of India's capital markets, banking sector, insurance sector, and other related sectors based on the findings of the Economic Survey 2024. Introduction. India's financial and banking sectors have demonstrated remarkable resilience, navigating through global geopolitical challenges with constant growth. Despite a turbulent global environment, the central bank has maintained a stable policy rate, effectively managing inflation. This phase of monetary tightening, particularly following the Russia Ukraine conflict, has resulted in higher lending and deposit rates, while bank loans, especially in personal and service sector, has surged. India's capital markets are also experiencing notable growth, with the country's stock market capitalization to GDP ratio ranking among the top 5 globally. The robust digital public infrastructure DPI and the increased engagement of banks and microfinance institutions MFIs have significantly enhanced financial inclusion alongside a flourishing insurance and pension sector. In this discussion, we will explore two critical areas: monetary development and financial intermediation. We will examine the current state of India's banking sector, the impact of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code on distressed assets, the advancements in digital financial inclusion, and the expanding role of MFIs. Additionally, we will review the evolution of India's securities markets, the emergence of GIFT City as a global financial hub, and the progress in insurance and pensions. Finally, we will address the government's initiatives to ensure financial stability through the Financial Stability and Development Council and consider future challenges. Monetary developments. Monetary policy is crucial for shaping a country's economic landscape by influencing growth, inflation, and investments. Its main goal is to maintain price stability while supporting economic growth using tools like the cash reserve ratio, statutory liquidity ratio, open market operations, and credit ceilings. In FY24, the central bank's policy stance supported domestic economic activity. The Monetary Policy Committee kept the policy repo rate at 6.5%, aiming to balance inflation control with growth. The cumulative 250 basis points increase in the repo rate from May 2022 to February 2023 led to a steady rate in FY24 with flexibility for adjustments if needed. Key events in FY24 included the withdrawal of Rs 2000 bank notes in May 2023, the HDFC Bank merger in July 2023, and a temporary incremental CRR in August 2023. The return of Rs 2000 notes and higher term deposit rates boosted aggregate deposits and broad money. However, currency in circulation growth slowed to 4.1% from 7.8% the previous year. Reserve money grew by 6.7% year on year as of March 29, 2024, down from 9.7% the previous year. Broad money saw an 11.2% year on year growth as of March 22, 2024, up from 9% previously, driven by increased aggregate deposits and bank credit. The money multiplier rose to 5.4 from 5.2, reflecting a healthy expansion in the money supply. Liquidity conditions and trends in policy rates. During FY24, the Reserve Bank of India actively managed liquidity with 17 variable rate reserve repo and 7 variable rate repo auctions, plus 49 fine-tuning operations. Amid tighter liquidity, banks often use the marginal standing facility, with the RBI permitting reversals on weekends and holidays from December 2023. To address excess liquidity risks, especially after Rs 2000 bank notes returned, The RBI introduced a temporary incremental cash reserve ratio of 10% in August 2023, absorbing Rs 1.1 lakh crore. This was phased out by October 2023 to ease liquidity before the festival season. Despite these measures, a liquidity deficit persisted through mid-September and the rest of the year. Lending and deposit rates rose as policy rate hikes from May 2022 to February 2023 took effect. External benchmark-based lending rates increased by 250 basis points, and the one-year marginal cost of funds based lending rates rose by 175 bps, reflecting the tightened monetary environment and effective policy transmission. Financial intermediation. Financial intermediation is essential for translating financial development into economic growth by effectively allocating resources. Economist Joseph Schumpeter noted that services like mobilizing savings, extending credit, and managing risk are crucial for innovation and development. Additionally, financial intermediation supports economic growth by attracting foreign capital and promoting inclusivity, ensuring access to finance for all, including vulnerable groups and SMEs. However, financial stability is equally important. Key indicators like CRAR, liquidity ratios, and short term credit management must be maintained within safe limits. Strong regulation, supervision, and coordination among regulators are crucial to ensure the financial system's stability and resilience, supporting sustainable economic growth. Before we go further, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. If you think this may be useful to a friend or a colleague, please consider sharing it with them. Performance of the banking sector and credit availability. India's banking sector remains robust with ongoing improvements in asset quality, improved provisions for bad loans, strong capital adequacy, and rising profitability. Credit growth, driven by lending to services and personal loans, continues to be strong. Deposit growth has also accelerated due to the repricing of deposits following previous rate hikes. Non-banking financial companies have seen faster lending, particularly in personal loans and industry loans, with better asset quality. As of March 2024, bank credit disbursed by scheduled commercial banks reached Rs 164.3 lakh crores, growing by 20.2%, up from 15% in March 2023. This momentum continues into FY25 with credit growth of 19% in April and 19.8% in May 2024. Sectoral credit growth. Agricultural credit. Credit to agriculture and allied activities experienced robust growth in FY24, with agricultural credit rising nearly 1.5 times from Rs 13.3 lakh crore in FY21 to Rs 20.7 lakh crore in FY24. The Kisan Credit Card (KCC) scheme significantly contributed to this, supporting over 7.4 crore farmers by the end of 2023. This momentum continued into April and May 2024, with agricultural credit growing by 19.7% and 21.6% year-on-year respectively. Industrial credit. Industrial credit growth accelerated in the second half of FY24, reaching 8.5% in March 2024, up from 5.2% a year earlier. This growth was driven by increased credit to both small and larger industries, particularly supported by the Emergency Credit Linked Guarantee Scheme for MSMEs, which offers collateral-free loans with a 100% credit guarantee. Advances in digital lending infrastructure and enriched credit data have bolstered lender confidence, and future technologies like the Open Credit Enablement Network are expected to further enhance credit flow to the MSME sector. Services and personal loans. Credit to the services sector remained steady even as credit growth to NBFCs slowed. Notably, credit to the commercial real estate and trade subsectors saw improvement in the later half of FY24. Personal loans, including housing loans, maintained a strong presence, with housing loan credit increasing from Rs 19.9 lakh crore in March 2023 to Rs 27.2 lakh crore in March 2024. The growth in personal loans is largely attributed to the digitalization of the lending ecosystem, which enabled faster decisions and better data validation. However, personal loan growth moderated after December 2023 due to higher capital requirements imposed by the RBI for unsecured loans, credit cards, and NBFC lending. Improvement in asset quality of banks. The Indian banking sector has shown notable improvement, with the gross non-performing assets ratio for scheduled commercial banks falling to a 12-year low of 2.8% by March 2024, down from 11.2% in FY18. This progress is due to better borrower management and effective debt recovery. Sector performance has varied. The agriculture sector's GNPA ratio was 6.5% but improved in FY24, while personal loans and most industrial sectors saw better asset quality. Capital adequacy is strong, with SCB's capital to risk weighted assets ratio at 16.8%, exceeding regulatory requirements. Profitability remains robust, with the net interest margin at 3.6% and profit after tax increasing by 32.5% year on year. Despite a rise in the cost of funds, the yield on assets improved and the NIM remains well below the stability threshold of 5%. Overall, the banking sector's high capital adequacy, improved asset quality, and strong earnings reflect its resilience and stability. Dealing with distressed assets. Economic resilience, the ability to resolve financial stress, particularly during downturns, is crucial for economic stability. Indian banks faced significant challenges in last decade, with a gross NPA ratio of 14.5% by March 2016, leading to a twin balance sheet problem. Government interventions. To tackle this, the government implemented stronger banking regulations, recovery laws, and insolvency legislation, reducing the GNPA ratio to 2.8% by March 2024. Recovery tools. Banks utilize strengthened regulations for early identification and management of distressed assets, including loan restructuring. Conventional recovery methods like debt recovery tribunals and the SARFAESI Act remain key, with asset reconstruction companies emerging as alternative recovery channels. NPA market. A competitive and liquid NPA market is essential. The government has established entities like NARCL and IDRCL to improve market liquidity and resolve distressed assets, freeing up bank capital. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code (IBC). The IBC has been effective in resolving distressed assets, recovering 32% of claims through corporate insolvency resolution processes. It has become the dominant recovery route for banks, accounting for 43% of total recoveries in FY23. Real sector impact. The IBC has helped over 3,000 businesses continue operations post resolution, significantly improving their performance and contributing to the real economy. The government's ongoing efforts to enhance the insolvency framework are solidifying the IBC's role in transforming India's credit market. Financial inclusion is within reach. Digital financial inclusion is the next goal. Financial inclusion is a vital driver of sustainable economic growth, poverty reduction, and inequality reduction. Recognized by the United Nations as a key enabler of the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs), financial inclusion helps achieve broader development objectives. Over the past decade, India has made significant strides, increasing the proportion of adults with formal financial accounts from 35% in 2011 to 77% in 2021, according to the World Bank. The government's focus has shifted from simply reaching every household to ensuring financial access for every adult, emphasizing account usage through initiatives like direct benefit transfers, DBT, and digital payment systems such as RuPay cards and UPI. Innovations like UPI 123 Pay and UPI Lit are advancing digital inclusion even for users of feature phones. Internationally, India is enhancing its payment systems by linking UPI with other countries' fast payment systems through initiatives like Project Nexus, which aims to streamline cross border payments. This platform, expected to launch by 2026, will improve the efficiency and cost effectiveness of retail cross border transactions. The digital transformation of financial services in India has been accelerated by the COVID 19 pandemic, promoting advancements in digital infrastructure and financial technologies. Key initiatives such as Aadhaar, UPI, and DigiLocker have improved transparency and accessibility, positioning India as a leading fintech market. The Indian stack, consisting of digital identity, payment, and data governance layers, has been pivotal in this transformation. Aadhaar has streamlined the KYC process, while UPI has revolutionized payments with transaction values soaring from rupees 0.07 lakh crore in FY17 to rupees 200 lakh crore in FY24. These advancements in digital financial inclusion are contributing to economic growth, with research indicating a 2.2% increase in average economic growth due to enhanced digital payments. Microfinance institutions facilitating financial inclusion. Role of microfinance. Microfinance provides small loans and financial services to households and entrepreneurs who lack access to formal banking, promoting financial inclusion and social empowerment. It meets the credit needs of low income households and offers additional services like insurance, remittance, and financial literacy. Regulatory framework. The RBI's supportive regulatory framework, alongside industry codes from self regulatory organizations like Sadhan and MFIN, has fostered the growth of the microfinance institution sector. The 2022 RBI regulations ensure a level playing field for all entities in the microfinance space and safeguard borrowers' interests. Sector size and growth. India has the second largest microfinance sector globally, with over 571 lakh clients and a loan outstanding of rupees 1.8 lakh crore as of FY23. The sector operates in 28 states, 5 UTs, and 646 plus districts, with a significant rural focus and a strong emphasis on women. Financial health. In FY23, MFIs showed strong performance with a total asset base of rupees 1.5 lakh crore, a 30% year on year growth. The sector's ROA was 2.5% and ROE was 12.2%, with a robust capital adequacy ratio of 26.5%, well above the RBI's requirement. Portfolio quality. MFIs have improved portfolio quality, reducing loan defaults and enhancing recovery efforts. Although delinquency ratios are still recovering from the COVID 19 impact, they are moving towards pre pandemic levels. Impact on rural India. The SHG Bank Linkage Program, the largest microfinance initiative, saw a credit disbursement of rupees 1.5 lakh crore in FY23, growing by 45.6%. The banking system held rupees 58,893 crore in SHG savings as of March 2023, indicating strong progress in financial inclusion. Financial Inclusion Index. The RBI's Financial Inclusion Index improved from 60.1 in March 2023 to 64.2 in March 2024, reflecting advances in access, usage, and quality within India's financial sector. Trends in Indian capital markets. In FY24, Indian capital markets thrived despite global challenges. Capital formation reached rupees 10.9 lakh crore, up from rupees 9.3 lakh crore, with IPOs increasing by 66% and funds raised by 24%. SME activity surged, positioning Indian exchanges as global leaders in IPO listings. Public debt markets saw growth with corporate bond issuances rising to rupees 8.6 lakh crore. Private placements remained dominant and outstanding corporate bonds grew to rupees 45 lakh crore. REITs and InvITs also excelled, raising rupees 39,024 crore, more than 5 times the previous year. The secondary markets performed robustly, with the Nifty 50 index climbing 26.8%. India's market capitalization surged, making it fifth largest globally. Retail participation grew, with individual investors' share at 35.9% of equity turnover and mutual fund assets increasing significantly. However, challenges remain, particularly in derivatives trading and market stability. The evolution of financial markets needs to be managed carefully to avoid crisis. Additionally, social stock exchanges are emerging as vital tools for funding socio development projects. GIFT IFSC, a gateway for global capital. The GIFT IFSC in Gujarat aims to become a premier international financial hub by attracting global capital and onshoring India centric financial services. This unique jurisdiction benefits from being a non resident zone under the Foreign Exchange Management Act, allowing business in any of 11 foreign currencies. The IFSC operates under the International Financial Services Centers Authority, which simplifies regulatory processes with a unified oversight. Additionally, a competitive tax regime aligns it with leading global financial centers. The banking sector in GIFT IFSC is expanding rapidly, with assets surpassing USD 60 billion and transactions exceeding USD 795 billion. The funds industry has also grown, with fund management entities and AIFs increasing significantly, transforming GIFT IFSC into a major player in global capital inflows. The aircraft and ship leasing sectors are emerging as key components. With a growing fleet and demand in India, GIFT IFSC has introduced a favorable leasing framework, resulting in the registration of over 28 aircraft lessors and 11 ship leasing companies. Foreign universities are also set up, with Deakin University and the University of Wollongong establishing branches, enhancing India's educational landscape. Ongoing reforms and technological advancements are positioning GIFT IFSC to become a leading global financial gateway, streamlining business operations and fostering international capital flow. Developments in the insurance sector. Global market trends. The global insurance market faced challenges in 2022 due to economic slowdown and high inflation. Reserve adequacy is a concern, with slow reserve releases despite large buffers. Inflation impacts have shifted from goods to services, affecting liability exposures. Global insurance premiums contracted by 1.1% in 2022, with non life insurance growing by 0.5% and life insurance contracting by 3.1%. India's insurance market. India's insurance sector is growing rapidly, driven by economic growth, a rising middle class, and regulatory support. Premium growth moderated slightly in FY23 to 4%, with life insurance penetration decreasing to 3%. Non life insurance saw a slight decrease to 7.7% growth. Health insurance grew by 11%, while agriculture insurance remained flat. Regulatory developments. India is implementing several reforms to boost insurance penetration and streamline operations. Initiatives like Insurance for All by 2047 and regulatory changes are aimed at providing accessibility and competitiveness. The IRDAI has simplified reinsurance regulations and product approval processes. Future outlook. India's insurance market is projected to grow by 7.1% annually over the next 5 years, with increased insurance penetration expected. The sector is said to be the fastest growing among G20 countries, with life insurance premiums growing by 6.7% and non life premiums by 8.3%. Developments in the pension sector. Global challenges. Global pension systems are facing challenges due to declining birth rates and persistent inflation. The shift from defined benefit to defined contribution plans is increasing individual risk, including gig and informal workers in pension schemes, remains a challenge. India's pension sector. India's pension sector has improved with the global pension index value rising from 44.5 to 45.9. The National Pension Scheme and Atal Pension Yojana have expanded with a significant increase in subscribers. However, most APY accounts are of low monthly pensions. Outlook. India's pension sector is expected to grow with rising income and changing demographics. There is a need for increased financial literacy and inclusion to ensure broad participation. The sector is poised for expansion as more people seek independent retirement income sources. Mechanisms to ensure regulatory coordination and financial stability. Importance of financial stability. Financial stability is crucial for sustainable economic growth. A stable financial system should withstand macroeconomic shocks and manage imbalances to prevent crisis. It involves not only avoiding actual crisis but also having the ability to manage and mitigate potential threats. Government's role. Governments play a key role in ensuring financial stability through various policies and regulations. This includes assessing how financial instability affects the real economy and ensuring close cooperation among regulators responsible for different financial institutions and economic stability. India's approach. In India, the Financial Sector Development Council facilitates coordination among financial sector regulators. It addresses financial stability, sector development, and macroprudential supervision. The FSDC subcommittee, chaired by the RBI governor, discusses agenda items and necessary actions. The RBI also monitors systematic risks and publishes the Financial Stability Report biannually. Financial Sector Assessment Program FSAP. FSAP, conducted by the IMF and World Bank, evaluates financial stability and sector development. India's FSAP exercises in 2011-12 and 2017 provided detailed assessment. The third FSAP for 2023-24 is underway with reports expected by February 2025. Regulatory reforms. Basel III reforms. India is largely compliant with Basel III standards, including net stable funding ratio and liquidity coverage ratio. The country is working on implementing revised leverage ratios and risk-based capital frameworks. Compensation standards. India follows international standards for compensation practices in banks, insurers, and asset managers. OTC derivatives. Significant progress has been made in trade reporting, central clearing, and platform trading for OTC derivatives, with margin requirements still under implementation. Non-banking financial intermediation. India meets FSB standards for securities financing transactions, including collateral management and haircut floors. Reforms in securitization and money market mutual funds aligns with FSB principles. Financial System Stress Indicator FSSI. The RBI's FSSI tracks aggregate stress levels in the financial system. The June 2024 FSR indicated a gradual easing of stress with improvements in the government debt market and foreign exchange. However, stress indicators for non-banking financial companies increased due to lower capital ratios and higher borrowing costs. Assessment and outlook. Progress in India's financial sector. India's financial sector has made notable progress. Domestic credit to the private sector increased from 50.6% of GDP in 2010 to 54.7% in 2021. The banking sector has seen reductions in gross and net NPAs, along with improvements in capital to risk weighted assets ratio, return on assets, and return on equity. Despite global uncertainties, Indian stock markets have remained stable. Challenges and opportunities. Despite challenges from credit booms and bursts, India has advanced in financial inclusion and deepening. To achieve its 2047 vision of becoming a developed country, India needs to lower financial intermediation costs further. Progress in this area has contributed to its resilient post COVID recovery, but more work is needed to enhance global financial leadership. Future outlook. India's financial sector has a positive outlook driven by the vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047. Key goals include a competitive banking sector, universal access to financial services, low intermediation costs, and effective credit access. Improvements are needed in insurance and pension fund assets, which are currently lower compared to global standards. Emerging trends. Future developments are expected to focus on artificial intelligence, machine learning, decentralized finance, and the Internet of Things, which could transform the digital payments ecosystem. India aims to become a leading fintech nation with high fintech adoption and a common user data approach. Emphasis should be placed on data based lending and continuous regulatory review. Capital markets evolution. India is transitioning from a banking dominated credit system to one of the greatest role in capital markets. While this shift is promising for India's development goods, it brings challenges and risks. The financial sector must prepare for potential vulnerabilities and ensure robust regulatory and policy frameworks to manage these challenges effectively. As we venture into the future, the focus will be on leveraging advancements in technology and innovative financial solutions to further strengthen India's financial system. Embracing trends like AI, ML, and decentralized finance will be vital for maintaining stability and driving growth. What aspects of India's financial landscape interest you the most? Are there any specific topics or trends you'd like to explore further? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe for more in depth insights and updates. Thank you for being a part of our journey.